Wow, okay, my voice is really bad today. This is gonna be rough. Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? How's everyone doing? So today, you probably saw in the title, I'm going to be doing my ideal, or what I think is a good idea to do for a homecoming makeup routine. Wow, my voice is actually really groggy, so everybody already says that on YouTube, but like, I don't have a cold, so I don't know what's going on. It's gonna look a little different because I have to film on my phone. I'm gonna try and cough it out a little bit. So yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it. So first, like I do with all my makeup routines, I'm going to put my hair up. And I've already moisturized using a dermatologist recommended moisturizer, but I'm still gonna do a few other steps because I think with homecoming, you can't be any more, like, there's not enough. You can't be prepared enough. You can always prepare more. So to start, I'm going to use this. I use this in my other makeup video, the Glam Glow Glow Starter. It's in the shade Nude Glow. I put this on before I do foundation because it's really glowy and it makes your skin look very glowy and pretty. Okay, so that is that. So now I'm going to prime. So for primer, this is actually a sample, but I really like the primer. It is the Too Faced Hangover Replenishing Face Primer. I really like this. It's very fresh feeling and I think it gets a little tacky, which I really like to have in my primers. So now that I have primed like that, I actually have never done this before, but it can't hurt because it's a very basic thing to do. I'm going to prime my eyelids because, wow, that was really southern. I'm going to prime my eyelids because I want my eyeshadow to stick really well. So I'm using the NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow base. So now I can actually start the actual makeup, but this is also part of the makeup process because if you're going to homecoming, you're gonna dance the night away, you're gonna be taking pictures, it's gonna be warm, your makeup could sweat off and you really want to be primed and ready so that you are like all good. So I'm gonna start using foundation. So I'm using the exact same foundation I used in my other video. Whatever foundation works for you, don't try new things on this, you know, homecoming night because you don't know if it'll work for you and you don't really want your makeup to be messed up. So for me, this works really well. This Sephora Make No Mistake foundation stick. So I'm gonna do 4 stripes on each cheek, 2 stripes on my forehead, and then on my nose and my chin. You'll see it when I do it, but I'm probably not gonna talk when I do this, so I just wanna preface what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm gonna blend that out using a buffing brush. This is the Y6 by Morphe. And I always like to go in and just add more in case I missed a few spots because certain areas of my face might not, I don't know, look as good. I look kind of scary right now, I'm sorry. So now after that, I'm going to do concealers. So for my under eye concealer, I'm going to be using the Boing Airbrush Concealer by Benefit Cosmetics. So I'm just gonna put that on my under eyes. I want my under eyes to be more of my skin color, and this is the only concealer I have that is matching my skin tone right now. So and then I'm just going to use a Morphe M536 brush to blend this out. I'm actually going to take a beauty blender and I'm going to spray it with a little bit of setting spray, and I'm just going to kind of go over that to make sure that it's very blended out. And then I'm also going to put some concealer. This is Tarte Shape Tape and it's a shade lighter than what I actually am. I'm going to put that on my forehead, down my nose, Cupid's bow, and on my chin. So now that I've done that, I'm going to set my entire face so that it stays. I'm going to use some translucent powder. This is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. Of course, there are other brands that are a little bit more affordable that work just as well. I'm just going to be using this because this is what I have. And I'm going to use a Y11 brush to kind of brush my areas where I put concealer, and then for foundation, use a bigger brush. And I'm now also going to bake because I want everything to stay really well. I want everything to blend and soak into my skin. So I'm just gonna take a beauty sponge and press that translucent powder under my eyes and any area where I put concealer or foundation that I feel will need it the most. So now that I've done that, I'm going to bronze my face. So I'm not gonna contour, I'm just gonna bronze because I don't want a sharp contour. I mean, you can make it into a contour if you want. That's just not what I'm gonna be doing. So I'm using the Hoola bronzer, and it's a mini size, but it's the Hoola bronzer. And I'm gonna use a Morphe R14 brush to blend that onto my face. So. And I'm also going to contour my nose. That is the only part of my face I'm actually going to contour because I personally think the shape of my nose can use some help. So I contour it. So I'm going to take that same bronzer, but I'm going to take a very extremely light hand on it because it is so pigmented. And I don't want my nose to look like someone rubbed dirt all over it. And I'm going to just draw a thin line on one side. Like you can just see how pigmented it is. Like, oh shoot. And I'm going to take that Wild Oven brush that had translucent powder on, and I'm going to blend this out because it'll kind of lighten it up so much better. Now that all of my face has been warmed up, I am now going to move on to what am I doing? My brows. I'm all over the place right now. I'm not going to do this on camera because I don't think I need to. I'm just going to do my brows. Once I finish that, I am going to carve out my brows because I don't usually do this on a daily basis because I don't find it necessary. But because this is a special occasion, I want everything to be clean and perfect as I can make it. So the brush I'm using is a Morphe M421 brush, and I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape for this because I'd rather it be a little bit lighter on my brows than darker on my brows. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to do my eyeshadow. So for eyeshadow, I'm going to use the Jaclyn Hill palette. I recommend this palette 100%. It is really nice and it has a lot of variation of colors so that you can achieve many different looks. To start, I'm going to use the shade Silk Cream on a Morphe M573 brush. I'm going to be using this brush for a very good portion of this, so I'm just going to put that on my crease just as kind of a transition shade. Butter, it is the second shade next to the yellow shade in the palette. And I'm going to put that basically over top what I just did. So now I'm going to use the shade right next to it called Pooter, and I'm going to keep that more concentrated on the outer part of my crease. And then once I have used all of it, I'm gonna blend it down towards my inner corner down this way so that it's all blended out. So now I'm going to switch brushes, and this next step kind of depends on what dress you're wearing. So from where we are now, this is a pretty neutral brown look. You can pretty much do this with any look. This next part, I'm gonna add kind of a reddish tint. So if your dress would not match with a reddish, like burgundy color, then I don't recommend doing this step. It's obviously not necessary. It's just what I'm choosing to do for this specific look. So if you are going to, I'm using the shade Bun. I'm gonna keep this concentrated on this lower part of my crease right here. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go back in with that shade Silk Cream and just blend that whole section together so that there are no harsh lines. So now I'm going to take a very dark shade and put that just on the very bottoms so that it's very intense in that area and the rest of my eye looks more open. To take this Morphe brush that has no name and it's just kind of a tiny black blending brush, and I'm going to use the shade Mocha. It is kind of a medium brown color, and I'm just gonna put that right here. So I'm just packing that on right now, and then after it's packed on, then I'm going to blend it. That M573 brush and blend it because it doesn't have that shade on it, so I won't have to worry about it smearing all over my eyelid. Now I'm going to do the lid area. I'm going to use this brown fluffy brush by Morphe that also has no name on it, but it's just kind of this flat brush. And I'm gonna take just like 2 shades in this palette. So the first shade I'm going to take is SBN, and I'm gonna put that all over the lid. And I'm gonna take the shade that is right next to it called Obsessed. It is a really, really pretty light champagne-ish color. And I'm actually gonna put a little bit of setting spray on it, just a tiny bit, because I want this to be more pigmented than the other shade. And I'm gonna concentrate that more in the inner corner area. And that is all I'm doing on the top of my lid. So now I'm gonna do the under eye area, or the lower lash line. So I'm gonna first take the shade Silk Cream, and I'm gonna use the Morphe R39 brush because it is a more tapered at the top brush, so it will blend a lot nicer. And I'm just gonna put that on my entire lower lash line. And I'm also gonna take that shade Butter, but I'm gonna keep it concentrated on the outer part of my lower lash line so that it is deeper in that area and not the entire eye. So now I'm going to put just a thin line of eyeliner on my eye. I'm not doing a wing, I'm not doing anything fancy, I'm just doing a thin line because I am going to be putting on false lashes. That is obviously not necessary. You do not need false lashes for homecoming. Honestly, you don't even need to put on as much makeup as I'm doing. This is just for those of you who find this to be like the one event you want to really dress up for. I'm using the Kat Von D tattoo liner, and like I said, I'm just doing a very thin line on my lash line. So now I'm gonna put on a little bit of mascara because I want my lashes to stick on better, and if you put on mascara and let it dry first, it stays a lot better. I'm using the Better Than Sex mascara by Too Faced. So I'm gonna kind of deal with my lashes. I would never put a lash on right after putting on your mascara, and I also would never put a lash on as is. You should always make sure you size them and measure them because you don't know if they're gonna fit. So the lashes that I'm using today are the Ardell Wispies, and they're 600. They look kind of like this. They're a little spiky, but I think that will look really flattering with the look that I'm going for. I'm gonna take a little bit of mascara again and just kind of bind the lashes with my real lashes, but I'm not gonna go upward strokes. I'm just gonna keep it concentrated at the bottom. So I haven't actually finished my base, but I'm gonna put a little bit of setting spray. This is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. It is actually very good. It is very affordable and very good. I know everybody talks about it like, oh my gosh, it's so good. And you're like, what's up with Morphe? Like, it's actually really good. I'm not lying. I'm clearly not getting paid by anybody. Like, it's really good. Hourglass Ambient Strobe Lighting Powder in the shade Incandescent, and I'm gonna take a dense highlighting brush. I'm gonna put that all over my cheekbones. And so yeah, that's what I'm doing for kind of just a glow from within. Honestly, you could be done there. I mean, I'm not going to be, but you could. I'm gonna move on to a more bright highlight. I'm gonna use the Anastasia Glow Kit in Sweets. And I'm gonna take the shade Butterscotch. Clearly, this is my favorite shade in the palette. You really don't need a very heavy hand. It's a very light hand, like just a little touch, little tap off, and then just put that on your cheekbones. I'm keeping it more concentrated on this high point right here because I want that to be where my highlight is the most blinding. On my Cupid's bow, a little bit on my forehead, but not a lot because I don't want my forehead to be too shiny. And then I'm gonna take a different brush to highlight my nose because I want it to be smaller. I don't want my nose to be the same shape. So I'm taking this Morphe E36 brush, and I'm also going to use this to do an inner corner highlight using the exact same highlighting shade. So I'm doing kind of an exclamation point on my nose, a little bit there, and then just a tiny little dot on the center of my nose. A little more setting mist on. So I'm gonna put some chapstick on. I talked about this in my fall haul video. I really love this chapstick. It is the Dr. Bronner's Peppermint Organic Lip Balm. A liquid lipstick matched with some gloss. So I'm gonna take the melted matte one, the Queen Bee, and I'm just going to put that on my lips. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna put some gloss on because I think this looks really pretty. And then I'm just gonna set my face one more time. I promise that's it after that. I just really want my makeup to stay because it looks really pretty. And I'm actually gonna press a little bit with a beauty sponge into my face so that everything is like set in place. So yeah, that is the finished look. Yeah, that is the end of this video. Please like this video if you like me doing makeup tutorials, you like this makeup look, or if you don't, because why not? Subscribe to my channel, join my YouTube community area place, and turn my post notifications on if you want to see every video that I post every Wednesday. I post every Wednesday. And also, is that it? I think that's it. All right, well, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. Peace out.